Hi, hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about the top 2 teams, but we'll be looking at the top 8 teams from Bochum Regional Championships, which was over the weekend. This video is being recorded on Tuesday, and it should go up on Tuesday, but hi, hello, it could go up on Wednesday. I'm not completely sure yet, but Bochum did happen this past weekend, and my goodness, first of all, Iron Jugulis won. Iron Jugulis did win, which I think is super cool to see. I kind of want to go back and revisit my tier list, as I don't think I put Screamtail, which had previously won a regional championship. Wolf won a regional championship with Screamtail, and I don't think I put Iron Jugulis particularly high either. So I kind of want to go back and revisit that, as those mons have claimed two regional championships, which is very cool to see. And I think the other thing I definitely want to touch on is in Alex's team, which is the second place team. It is a hard Trick Room team. There is a Hatterene there, but you may also notice there are 0 Paradox Pokemon there. 0, and that got second place at the regionals, which is very cool to see. I also do think it's interesting to see Hatterene. Hatterene was, I don't want to say like quite dominant in Sword and Shield, but definitely was not, I don't think was ever considered a super niche pick. However, in Scarlet and Violet, we have not, at least I have not seen Hatterene as much, so also an interesting pick there. And I do also, I have the pace, which I'm going to go into a little bit more, Marcus and Alex's teams, and I'm going to talk about the finals, because what a finals. But I do also kind of want to note, in the, can you see my mouse? There we go, things are working, technology. So I also do want to note in top 8, 4 Dragonites. That means half of top 8 teams had a Dragonite, which I think is very cool, also very interesting. And something I also want to say, so Torkoal did, I'll talk about this a little bit later, but Torkoal did get second. Out of the 3, there's no rain, and out of the top 8 teams, we have 3 weather teams. We got 2 Torkoals, Torkoal, and then we do have a Tyranitar, which I think is very cool to see as well. And what else? Oh, bundle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of the top 8 teams are utilizing a bundle of joy. So definitely very popular. And we have one Dondozo here as well. But I want to talk a little bit more about, hold on. Let me see, where's my showdown? There's my showdown. I can do this. There we go. There's my showdown. So this right here is Marcus's team. So the trick, the first thing I'm going to say. So in the finals, it was Marcus versus Alex. So the hard trick, this is Marcus's team, then Alex's team was hard Trick Room. So in game 2, turn 1, Marcus does go for the trick. Okay, sorry, let me paint a picture. Give me 1 second, I can get this out, okay. So, Marcus does lead Goldie and Iron Jugulis. Marcus swaps out turn 1, Iron Jugulis into the Gothitelle, so that means Alex's Pokemon are trapped. And then with the Goldie goes for a trick onto Alex's female Indeedee, and then as Alex goes for Trick Room, so now Indeedee is stuck in, because Gothitelle's there. Gothitelle is here, right here, and Shadow Tag is in effect. So Alex is trapped in with a Specs Indeedee going for Trick Room every single turn. It was just, wow. That play, and that game, honestly, kind of felt like a clinic. That play was really incredible. And there was also a play in game 2 where Trick Room went up 3 times. Trick Room went up 3 times. So I'm pretty sure how the turn played out. Alex's Indeedee went for a Trick Room, because she has to, she's stuck in there. Gothitelle also went for Trick Room, like Marcus's Gothitelle went for Trick Room right there. And then also, Alex's Armarouge went for Trick Room. So Trick Room went up 3 times, so Trick Room ended up going up because how it would work is one Pokemon goes for Trick Room, twisting the dimensions, another Pokemon resets, like, goes for Trick Room, that resets the dimensions back to normal, and then the Armarouge went for Trick Room last, and then that twists the dimensions. There we go. I did it. There we go. I did it. But in both games, Snarl was huge, as Alex brought... Snarl was huge as Alex brought four special attackers, I believe. Yes, 4 special attackers. Indeedee, Armarouge, Hat, and Torkoal. So the Snarl spam was real, was absolutely real, and then going for the trick, and then also having Gothitelle here who can absorb those big psychic type moves and go for charms, set trick room, or just get a big psychic move off in the psychic terrain, because the Indeedee set up the psychic terrain, so the psychic is boosted, it's stab boosted, and it's boosted by terrain. So honestly doing very reasonable damage. Doing definitely reasonable damage, especially into Torkoal, who does not resist the psychic moves. And so definitely something that I want to touch on is I do want to talk about this Iron Jugulis set and about Iron Jugulis's... Ooh, that doesn't sound right. Iron Jugulis's utility a bit. So we do see that we have speed control, we do see the Tailwind, we see the Air Slash, and we see the Snarl. So the only stab dark move here is the Snarl, but I think Snarl is so incredibly useful, especially into Psy Spam, which I would usually consider to be Armarouge and Indeedee, but it also works quite well into Hatterene. You know, as long as Marcus doesn't Terra into a Steel type, you know, not weak to fire, so can go for Snarls on Torkoals as well. Can go for Snarls on any big special attackers, including opponent's Goldies, including Fluttermane, including the Iron Bundle. And I think a great note is that this Iron Jugulis is Terra Steel. So Terra Steel is pretty cool here, because Terra Steel would resist Fairy type moves, which are going to be super effective on the Iron Jugulis, as it is a Dark type. Will resist the Ice moves that, once again, will be super effective because of the Flying typing. So I think that's a really cool defensive Terra as well. And because it's Steel, it would resist, if you're against opposing Goldies, it would also resist the Make It Rains, like big Make It Rains. And you get your Tailwind. And you have the speed control. And I think something to note about this team is it's a Tail Room team, right? And I think Tail Room teams are so incredible. I mean, in best of 1, they're incredible. They're always going to be incredible, but especially in a best of 3. So you do have slower members of the team who can function in Trick Room, or your Gothitelle can be there just as a way to disrupt your opponent, to disrupt your opponent's Trick Room, as we saw in the finals against the hard Trick Room team. You can go for Trick Rooms they can't swap out. And when you are using a hard Trick Room team, I use a lot of Trick Room. I really like my Indeedee Armarouge team that has Darkspun, which I would consider, it's definitely not hard Trick Room, but it relies on Trick Room. So here's the thing. If my opponent has Gothitelle, I can't swap out I can't swap out my Indeedee to get one of my Trick Room sweepers in. I can't swap out my Indeedee to get my Darkspun in, or to get my Torkoal in to start boosting and everything like that. So that's why Indeedee is such an incredible disruptor, like always, but especially in Trick Room matchups. And I think the other cool thing is, so a Tail Room team, you know, let's say in a best of 3, in game 1, you look at your opponent's team, you say, okay, there's not too much speed control, they all have pretty middling speeds, so I'm just gonna hit them. I'm gonna go in, I'm going Tailwind, and I'm going Specs Make It Rain, or Specs Shadow Ball, or something like that. You know, I'm just going in, I am saying I'm gonna do damage, you know, you have to kind of pivot around this. And then, so then your opponent, you know, you do that game 1, your opponent thinks, okay, for game 2, that I'm gonna go with my speed control, I will be able to outbulk your Tailwind, and then you just say, nope, this game, I'm going Trick Room. So you brought your faster Pokemon in, you think you're gonna outbulk this, like, nope, I'm gonna go Trick Room, I am going to stop you from swapping out, I'm gonna stop you from, like, you know, whatever it may be, stopping and intimidates, anything like that. I'm just gonna go Trick Room, and I'm gonna Trick Room, I'm gonna Charm you, then I'm gonna let my Iron Hands go in and just Drain Punch, Wild Charge, Close Combat, you know, I'll keep healing up, and I'm gonna say you can't out-damage me this way. So I think having a Tail Room team is just incredible, and I will say, the games I saw, Marcus really did that sounded weird. Pilot. I'm trying to do that thing where I talk way too fast again. I apologize. I feel like it's because I always want to make these videos short. I'm like, no one, I try not to make them 20 minutes like they have been. So to me, that's like, okay, I talk fast and I just don't stop talking and then I can get it in under 20 minutes. I think I am actually going to get it in under 20 minutes, but I don't need to talk that fast. In fact, take a sip. Thank you. So, I think the Tail Room is really cool, and I think Iron Jugulis does support this team very, very, very well. The other thing is Iron Jugulis, without having to Terra, is a flying type, so that way you can go for your Earthquakes next to your Tailwind Setter. Also, important to note is that the bundle is also a flying type, which I think is super cool. The bundle's a flying type, that way you can also go, Earthquake, so you have two potential mons that you can Earthquake next to, so the Gothitelle can protect, so you can also protect an Earthquake, but both the Goldie and the Iron Hands cannot protect, so that is not, unless you want to damage yourself, and they will both take super effective damage unless they Terra. Well, even if Goldie Terras, Goldie will be taking super effective damage as it is Steel type, but, if the Iron Hands does Terra Grass, it should eat the Earthquake decently well, but, you know, you still very possibly don't want to be damaging your own mons here. I think the other last thing I really want to note about this team is, we've definitely seen it before, but it is the Encore on Iron Bundle. Just, again, another incredible way to disrupt your opponent. You can trap them in with Gothitelle, and then you can Encore them. So let's say your opponent wants to set Tailwind as well, or Trick Room, you know, and any sort of speed control like that, or Protect, or even a setup move, you know, so that way you can go for the Encore. And then if you want to swap in your Gothitelle, you can, that way you're trapping them, or you don't have to swap, you can just kind of say, okay, if you don't want to be stuck into Protect, or if you don't want to be stuck into Tailwind, and you actually want to get a Tailwind Sweeper in, you're going to have to swap out, and then I can take advantage of you swapping out. I can get some damage off, I can Icy Wind the mon that comes in to guarantee I'm faster next turn, you know, so that way I can guarantee, you know, maybe my Tusk is faster, and so then I can get a big Headlong Rush and another Icy Wind off, all that kind of stuff. So I think there's some incredible, like, there's some great offense, but there is also some incredible disruption on this team as well. Definitely a team, I think I saw, maybe I'm incorrect, I think I saw that Marcus does have a rental code for this team, and I really want to try it out. I am not, definitely teams, you know, maybe where you want to position a little bit more. I don't feel like that is one of my strengths, but that's the beauty of rental codes, is I can try them, I can try to learn them, I can see what beats them, and then I can say, okay, my opponent did this, you know, now I know next time I'm gonna lead this and all that kind of stuff. So rental codes are incredible, and I will definitely be trying out a rental code for this team. I know I said last thing I said was gonna be the last thing I said about this team, but one more very quick thing. Choice specs. Choice specs, trick, first of all, but choice specs on the Goldie, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I've been seeing a trend for Goldie going a little bit bulkier, with maybe Leftovers and Nasty Plot, that kind of set. I feel like I've been seeing a little bit more of a bulky Goldie, so to see just specs Goldie rip through teams was definitely surprising. I think it's a great choice for this team. Okay, let me really quick. I do very quickly want to talk about Alex's team. Very cool team. No, not one single Paradox Pokemon to be found. I will say, so there are 3, sorry, I can count. There are 4, I can do it. There are 4 count of 4 special attackers on this team, and I believe in both finals matches, please correct me if I'm wrong, I believe in both finals matches, Alex did bring all 4 special attackers, and I think it really just showed how much disruption can, how much the disruption on Marcus's team, the Gothitelle, the Trick Room Gothitelle, the Snarl, all that kind of stuff, the trick from the Goldie, all that kind of stuff, can really be a pain for Trick Room to deal with. Also, something I do want to point out is this is Safety Goggles Kingambit, so this does mean, as Armarouge is Dark-type Terra, so this does mean there are only 2? Oh, you're Terra-type Grass, okay. Yeah, so there are, without Terra, there are 2 Pokemon on this team that are immune to Amoonguss. I don't know if it's only me, I have been hurt by Amoonguss in the past, so whenever I build Trick Room teams, I mean really any team, but especially Trick Room teams, because sometimes people, their Trick Room counter for their team or their Trick Room kind of matchup is that they have Amoonguss on their team, so if they see you running a Trick Room team, they're like, yes, I am bringing the Mushroom. I guess I can say Brute Bonnet as well, but I'll say Spore, I'll say Spore. So I think always when I look at Trick Room teams, I'm like, okay, who is immune to Spore on this team? So, it is good to note, unless you get knocked off, the Kingambit is immune to Spore with the Safety Goggles. Hat is Magic Bounce, so you cannot Spore the Hat, you cannot taunt the Hat. I think that is a excellent ability for Hatterene. So that is 2 Pokemon, and then you also have, if you do want to Terra your Indeedee, you can Terra your Indeedee, Terra Grass, you can follow me, and then Amoonguss, you know, Amoonguss can go for super effective damage if they have Pollen Puff. But that's kind of what Amoonguss is stuck in doing, and unless Amoonguss goes Dark type, you know, you have Psychic here, and your Magic Bounce, you are Grass here, you have Twisted Spoon, Psychic Terrain, possibly Psychic Terrain boosted, Expanding Force, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I just also quickly wanted to touch on this team as well. I really like this Trick Room team. I have been using Armarouge, Indeedee, and Torkoal for a while now, as those 3 are great with Darkspawn, and honestly, those are usually the Pokemon I bring to almost every game. And it's definitely a great little core. But okay, 17 minutes, I did it. Haha, I did it. Yeah, so those are kind of my thoughts on the top 2 teams from this weekend, from the Bochum Regional this weekend. If you did enjoy the video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Seriously, anything does help the channel out a ton, and I would very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. Okay, I'm gonna get the heck out of here with just over 18 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna get the heck out of here. Why is this always so awkward for me? I don't know. Someday I'll learn how to end a video in a not awkward way. That day is not today, so goodbye!